Hello, my name is David Keith, and I'm with the Ventura County DA's office. All of us have certainly heard about the dangers of drinking and driving, and the horrible impact that crime has had on so many people, not only here in Ventura County, but across the entire nation. But did you know that the problem of drugged driving is actually becoming more and more prevalent, and now accounts for about 30% of the fatal crashes in California? I'm talking about people who use drugs and then get behind the wheel. And I'm sure it comes as no surprise to hear statistics about drivers using illegal drugs such as marijuana, methamphetamine, heroin, or cocaine, and then getting into crashes causing injury or death. But another huge problem is people who use legal drugs and then climb behind the wheel. Here's Ventura County DA, Greg Totten.
Hello, I'm Ventura County District Attorney Greg Totten. The problem of drug driving continues to increase. Based upon data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 30% of all drivers who were killed in motor vehicle crashes last year in California tested positive for legal and/or illegal drugs, a percentage that has steadily been increasing since 2006. Unfortunately, motorists don't always recognize the very serious risk associated with driving under the influence of legal and illegal drugs. But make no mistake, deaths and injuries caused by drug driving are increasing at an alarming rate. Even while driving under the influence of alcohol, fatalities have been in decline. Drugs which can impair driving are not only illegal narcotics and stimulants, but can also be prescription and over-the-counter medications, as well as marijuana and its synthetic substitutes. Many, when combined with alcohol, heighten the effect of both. Please take a few moments and watch this important webcast to learn more about this very serious issue and what officials right here in Ventura County are doing to curb this problem. Thank you.
I'm here now with Stacy Ratner. Stacy is the supervising attorney that oversees the prosecution of drug driving cases here in Ventura County. Stacy, how significant is this problem here?
David, this problem is extremely significant. In fact, we have national data that indicates that 30% of victims in traffic-related fatalities are under the influence of either illegal or legal drugs, and that really translates to at least that many persons causing those collisions as other drivers on the highway.
And what are we doing as a DA's office to combat this problem?
We have been lucky enough to receive a grant from the Office of Traffic Safety to fund 2 full-time prosecutors focused just directly on this subject. And so they are handling these cases from beginning to end, focused primarily on persons driving under the influence of drugs.
And a big part of this grant and a big part of our efforts, and one of the reasons I think we've been very successful, is what we call the DRE, or the Drug Recognition Experts. There's some training that's taking place. Tell us about the training.
Yes, well, part of the grant that goes to other agencies trains local law enforcement officers in what they call the A-RIDE program, which is one that focuses officers on exploring and finding symptomologies of persons under the influence of drugs, be they illegal or legal drugs. Having those officers in the field with that type of expertise has really enabled us to file charges against persons who are driving under the influence of drugs that we before were not able to detect.
And there's differences between alcohol and drugs. So the average patrol officer sees somebody driving erratically. They pull them over. They've got to make that determination. Is it alcohol related? Is it drug related? Now we're doing that training so they can figure out, hey, you know what? This appears to be more of a drug related type of problem.
That's absolutely correct. In the past, we would have persons pulled over for erratic driving or other issues. The officers knew there was something wrong with that person, but couldn't detect what they were under the influence of, if anything. Now, because we have these officers in the field who are specifically trained for that, they're typically called to the scene so they can examine the individuals to find out if, in fact, they are under the influence of drugs.
All right, got to ask you, how often does an officer hear the excuse from somebody as they pull them over for driving erratically, for instance, and the person says, well, I'm on prescription drugs, I have a prescription, so it must be okay?
Well, actually that happens all the time, and I think that the misnomer that a lot of people have is that because they feel that their doctor gave them a prescription, that it doesn't matter if they drive. And in fact, what's really going on is they're not really paying attention to the instructions they receive from their doctor or their pharmacist, because everybody is told when they receive these types of medications, do not operate heavy machinery, do not drink alcohol. In fact, prescription medication is the largest part of the problem that we're dealing with people driving under the influence of drugs. I think the average citizen, they may receive the medication because of surgery, because of chronic illness, other types of things. They don't realize that they are actually being impaired by these drugs, and then they're going out and driving and really causing a danger to everybody else on the highway.
And there's another factor. You take a prescription drug, again, which is, from your doctor, perfectly okay, but then maybe they have a glass of wine with dinner, or they're out and they have a cocktail before dinner, or whatever, and there's a multiplier effect. This is an extremely dangerous situation.
It is a dangerous situation, and what we find also is that people who take medications for pain or for other issues, they get used to taking that medication, and once they start feeling good, once their pain goes away, they might go to dinner and have a drink without even realizing that the multiplier effect of that alcohol with those drugs is going to impair them for purposes of driving. And then once again, they become a danger on our highway.
And how about marijuana? We've seen a big increase in that.
We have, over this last several years, seen a big increase of marijuana in combination with prescription drugs, in combination with alcohol. And again, all of these things taken together cause people to be unsafe on the highway.
Some of the statistics, how many cases are we handling? We're talking about increases here.
Yes, we have had a huge increase in the number of cases we've filed. Since we received the grant around the beginning of January in 2012, our 2 prosecutors have handled several hundred cases.
That's just mind-boggling. There's that many people out on the roads in Ventura County driving impaired with drugged impaired operation of a vehicle.
Yes, and remember, it's not just illegal drugs, it's prescription drugs as well.
Wow. All right. So the bottom line, drugs and driving don't mix. I'm here now with Karen Coyle from the Office of Traffic Safety up in Sacramento. Karen, first off, thank you to you and your office for all the work you've done here in Ventura County. It's made a huge difference with these grants. What's been going on up in Sacramento?
Thanks, David. The California Office of Traffic Safety has funded 9 DUI prosecution grants over the last year, and Ventura County is just one of the agencies to receive that type of grant.
And what kind of success are we seeing?
These grants are very successful. We've seen a decrease in traffic-related fatalities and an increase in prosecutions.
It's been terrific for us. And again, we appreciate all your time and attention down in Ventura County. I hope this webcast has shed some light on this significant problem and made you more aware of the dangers of using alcohol or drugs, illegal or prescribed, and climbing behind the wheel of a car. Stay informed, stay protected. I'm David Keith. Thanks for watching.